the Terran versus Crazy Ape matchup. Zookeeper against Zappish. Artosis against Zappish. Artosis spawning in white, I like this color. That bad Protoss player spawning in a very unpleasant color, which you will see every day if you go to the restroom. Now, what are we gonna see from Artosis? Is he gonna fall back to the super old-fashioned 2 factory style and try to push the issue? Or is he just gonna go into an early expand and try to go to like 5-6 facts? And go with a 2-1 timing push, for example. There are a lot of options you can do. You can also play like a turtle style, where you just try to grow on the map and defend your bases and the Protoss tries to break you. But that kind of enables the Protoss to do any tech he wants to, because you don't really have a pressure, you kind of have a push. I guess you have a lot of vulture harassment, which is fine, but you're not really controlling the map, and you give the map to the Protoss, so the Protoss can just set up something. And, well, what can he set up? He could, for example, go into carriers, he could, for example, go into an arbiter play, recalls, gateway man, a lot of storm shuttle bombing. There's so many options for the Protoss, it seems like. There's even DTs, right, in the early game, but we rarely see those things happen. It's mostly about Reaver openings these days. But it feels like it's about time that the DT makes a comeback. Maybe even Storm openings are gonna be good here as well. Now, both players are gonna scout their opponent as the second spot, I would assume, yeah. Artosis could go for the end scout, but I feel like he's not gonna do that. I have to wait and see, yeah. Looks like the SV is just gonna go to the top left here, so he will find his opponent very soon as well. And see then what's going on here in Protoss Town. The Marines did push out that probe. There's one factory on the way so far. No goon range yet, he's waiting with this. Might throw down an extra tech building first here. But it feels like he wants to throw down the Nexus before anything. And that's exactly what he's doing. But it's a good scout, it shows him, hey, there's no goon range rush, there's only one gate. I'm safe for a little bit here. I mean, he has to deal with that goon, but that's about it. There's the range, coming in now. So no crazy fast tech here. And the Dragoon came back now to deal with that SCV, because he does not want to reveal his tech for free. He at least wants to milk a scan and the chance to maybe hide what he's attempting to do here. But what can you do if you play against Artosis? I mean, the only thing you can do is make a Artosis pylon to please him. There's no chance of winning here for our Protoss player, of course. Now one Vulture is gonna go across the map, but he will run into the Dragoon. He's gonna shoot him? Not sure if that was the correct move. If he would have ran past, he actually would have, well, hit this Goon, but he would have gotten probably without any damage out of that situation. Now he took one shot. It's gonna make this Vulture a little bit more flimsy, of course. Now, as was foretold, we do see the robotics facility here. And probes going into the natural to start mining operations. Mines is gonna be the first upgrade here for our Terran player. Means he wants to assert some map control. Get some vision out on the map, control the third base areas for the Protoss player. And delay those expansions a little bit, delay the pushes. Maybe get lucky, you never know. Sometimes your opponent messes up and just walks into a mine, you get a good hit, you clear a unit, something like that. Or at least you deal a bunch of damage to those guys. And there we see all of those mines being planted down. The probe wanted to move out, but thought better of it. I'm gonna move a Dragoon first, and he will walk into the mine. He's gonna eat the shot. That's a great trade here for Artosis already. He's gonna be happy with that. He's gonna try to run in a few more vultures. He could break this Dragoon, but he's not gonna break the Nexus. Engineering Bear on the way. We're going into speed. There's no siege mode as of yet, if I'm correct. And without the speed, though, unfortunately, this is gonna be tricky to get out as well. He's not gonna get that Dragoon. He does get the probe, but he cannot kill or cancel this base. He needs to move his dudes back. He's actually gonna bring everything forward, only defending with a couple of mines. And he's trying to cut off circulations here between these two bases for the Protoss player. With those mines. He does manage to delay it a little bit, but unfortunately he moved in a little bit too fast with these vultures. And now half of the army died, while half of the army has to run away from the Protoss and is most likely also going to die. The only thing he does not really want to lose is the tank. If he can get the tanks back to safety, it's going to be not that terrible, but this trade is looking way too good for our Protoss player, Zapish, at this point. And yeah, Dan is gonna hide the tank in the north. He does have a couple of vultures trying to lay mines from behind to get those guys dead, you know, reinforcements. And he's gonna find a probe transfer. That's a perfect move here from Dan, and he will bring that tank as well. So this is gonna be a very beefy harassment power force. And on the other side there is a turret to save the mines, which is weird and funny, but yeah, he has a turret to try and kill yeah, anything that the observer, right? So he can keep his mines safe, and the Dragoons have to commit into the mines basically if they want to get close. So that's a very smart move. I like that one actually. The mine defense, mine turret defense. He does have also a couple of siege tanks, so they're gonna keep him safe as well. And Zapish is spending his money quite nicely, but he just lost like 10 or 12 probes. And we do see that reflected in that worker graph, or in the worker statistic right now. 53 to only 42. This is going into his 5-fac setup. We should see the armory already here. And researching. He's gonna throw down a few turrets, because he wants to be safe against any incoming shuttles, potentially. Or also keep out some observers, but we already see the Citadel of Dune has been placed down, and we do see the transition into a more zealot, it's basically gateway man army here. He could go also into that Templar Archives, right? And go into Storm, but no speed shuttles. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to utilize that Storm correctly, it feels like. Oh, and he does get a good scan here. Let's quickly check. He does scan everything, he sees every tech, and he's like, wait, what is your tech? You're only going for speed zealots? Really? That's all? I wonder if this Dragoon can move out. It should be able to. This is a forge down here. Probably gonna go into some upgrades very soon here. And I'm expecting Artosis just to sit back until he gets 2-1 and then push out. He's going into a third base, he's going into a starport. This will most likely be for some vessel addition to get shield battery, defensive matrix and EMPs out. So you can counter High Templars or Arbiters. In fact, it's gonna be the High Templar route. Oh no, as I said, we see the Stargate and the Templar Archives together, so this should be the Arbiter Tribunal afterwards. Artosis is slowly moving out here with his forces, gonna set up a few turrets, and he will take this as his third base, because he has already the command center down here. Be going into the science facility very soon, going first into his extra armory. So far very passive play here from both players. Not used to see a Protoss player that does not attack. I will go ahead and take another Nexus. And we see the first push attempt. So he wants to keep Artosis on 2 bases. But it feels like this army is probably not going to be enough. We already see the supply depot wall here. He does have a few mines and he has a bunch of tanks. Very deep tank line here into the right from our screen here. And he brings in the vultures. He's going to kill most of those zealots. Only a few zealots trying to run from the north. It feels like this army is too clumped up in this area here. It will delay the base for a tiny bit, but that was a terrible trade here for our Protoss player. Terrible damage. Now he's still trying to go with that gateway man for now, but as I said, there's the Arbiter. See, the Arbiter terminal is going into that. Stasis first, so he's not relying on a crazy recall. This map also does not feel like it's the best map for recall. Like you can go through this area, this corridor, and then come in here. But it's like such a roundabout way to try and get into that base. And from this area, it's very difficult to push in with an Arbiter. So I'm not sure if I like the choice, to be honest. But it will also help him fight in the middle. If Artosis comes out to play, then he has the potential to crush if he gets a really good stasis or a couple of good stasis on some tanks. Science facility is there. We don't see an add-on yet for that starport. That's a shame. Going up to what? 4, 8, 9 factories. That's a lot of factory. Oh, can you move through there? I guess you can. Now the Arbiter play still relies on a lot of gateway units. While the Arbiter of course is very strong if it can cast its spells, it still just needs a very big support army. And it's just so weak on its own. Now we do see finally the first Templars. It's gonna have Psystorm with that. And we do see, what is that? Is that the energy upgrade? I don't think. Do you need to research recall? That might be the default spell that they have, actually. I think it's the energy upgrade, yeah. Another main base being taken here for a Protoss player. And Dan is trying to prevent the top right corner, but Protoss is roaming that. Now Dan is starting to move out. He does have +1. I think he's about to hit his 2-1, but he's pushing out a little bit early here. There is +1 for both players at this point. He does have a bunch of vultures. He has so many tanks. He's looking at 180 supply. Now first Arbiter's coming in. Just has a perfect 100 energy. He's gonna get only 3. Not the one you were looking for. Like this clump would have been better, it feels like. Probably could have gotten a tiny bit more there. We do have the High Templar. He needs a storm there. He's gonna go throw down that first storm. He's gonna damage those vultures quite a bit. Second storm is gonna hit some tanks very nicely. But this army is getting wrecked. It's getting face wrecked. We still are waiting for +2 weapons to finish here. It's gonna happen in a hot second here as well. Now I feel like our Protoss just kind of throw away the game. They should have engaged from more angles, and he needed just more units. It's funny to say when you're sitting at 180 supply, it's difficult to get that many more units, but he needed to have a better engage. And the Zealots weren't really coming from the correct angles. It feels like he was not storming those vultures fast enough. He needed to storm them first, kill them with the goons, and then come in with the zealots into top of the tanks. Instead, he went into the vultures with the zealots, so they kind of got completely wrecked, and then the goons alone didn't really do anything. Only one storm was cast, only one stasis was cast, so in the end, nothing really that helped our Protoss player here. In the end, he does have one more storm, but that's not gonna do much. Templar is gonna get killed off, and this army now sitting at 2-1 upgrades is just unstoppable. A very good timing push here from our White Terran player indeed. Should probably throw down just another command center behind this, because he has this lead. It's not like he's gonna lose the game, but this is something you need to start implementing into your place if you want to become a world champion, because eventually you could get leads like this against better players, and sometimes they come back because you make some mistakes, because they have some insane execution, because they just have a very lucky situation to themselves. And you don't want to have that happen, because, well, it's your game to lose at this point. So yeah, I mean, just throw down extra command center. There we go, and that's about it. Just keep on playing, keep on improving. It's gonna kill all of this Protoss scum. We do see one more Arbiter, there's the second Arbiter. But I mean, there's no anti-air, but what are those gonna do? He does have 2 Port Arbiter at this point. It's funny to see. There's the first Goliath, and 1 Goliath is gonna be enough to kill 12 Arbiters. GG is gonna be called. Zappish is gonna drop out of the game here. Artosis does take the 3rd ladder game win. Or the